Good morning, everybody. It is Monday the 1st of June. Right, now we're starting a new topic today, and that new topic is called completing the square. Right, so what I want you to do first of all is I want you to work your way through this lesson starter. So question 1 focuses on one of the topics we've done, factorising. And question 2 and question 3 focus on surds, again another topic that I did earlier on at the start of lockdown. Right, pause the recording, do your lesson starter, then continue with the recording and I will go over them. Okay, hopefully you've finished your lesson starter. So question number 1 on factorising. So part A, we have got two terms here. That's a square, and 81 is 99, so that's also a square. We've got a minus sign between them, so it's a difference of two squares. So set up two identical brackets, take the square root of x squared, which is x, put it into each bracket. Square root of 81 is 9, put that into each bracket and make one bracket positive and one bracket negative. Part B, so for part B, we've got 3x squared minus 75. So two terms, 3 is not a square number, 75 is not a square number, so it must be a common factor. So 3 divides into 75, so common factor is 3, and that becomes x squared minus 25. Now, when you look at that part's a difference of two squares. So take the square root of x squared, which is x, square root of 25, which is 5. One bracket is positive and one bracket is negative. Next one, part C. We've got 3a squared minus 5a minus 2. Now, we take the number in front of the squared term and we times it by the last number. So we've got minus 6. We're looking for factors of minus 6. So forget the minus sign just now. So it could be 1 and 6. It could be 2 and 3. Then it could be 3 and 2. We've repeated, so I've got all the factors. If it's negative, it means that one of the factors is positive and one is negative. So we could have minus 1 and 6 or 1 and minus 6. And with this minus 2 and 3, we could have 2 and minus 3. Now we're looking for a middle term of minus 5. Which pair of factors gives me minus 5? That would give me 5. That would give me 1. That would give me minus 5. So that's the factors there. So we're now going to split that middle term up into those factors. So 3a squared stays as it is. And instead of this minus 5a, we've got minus 6a plus 1a. And I've switched that round because I want the minus 1, the negative 1 to come first. So I've put the minus 6 and then the plus 1. And then we've got a minus 2. Split it down the middle. When I split it down the middle, take out the highest common factor, which is 3a. So that's a minus 2. And there's no common factor there. So when there's no common factor, you just write plus 1 times a minus 2. Right, finish that off, make up your two brackets. So the repeated bracket stays as it is, a minus 2, and the other bracket comes from that bit and that bit. So the first bracket is 3a plus 1. And that should fully factorise that question. Okay, next one, question 2. So question 2, simplify the square root of 300. Now, always keep in mind what your square numbers are. So I'm listing them down just now. Okay, that's up to 100. Now, what is the biggest number that divides into that? Hopefully you can see it's 100. So that becomes the square root of 100 multiplied by 3. Break your root sign, so it's the square root of 100 multiplied by the square root of 3. We know the square root of 100 because it's a square number. So it's 10 times root 3, but you don't need the times sign, so it becomes 10 root 3. Okay, next one, question 3, similar. We need all our square numbers. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and they go on and on and on. Right, so root 3, 3 is a prime number. There is nothing I can do with that root 3. It stays as it is. That just stays. Now, what's the biggest square number that divides into 75? 25. So that's going to be the square root of 25 times by 3. And then I've got to take away the square root of 48. What's the biggest number that divides into 48? It's 3 lots of 16. Okay, so now we can continue that down. That would become the square root of 25 times the square root of 3. That will become the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. So I've got root 3. Then I've got square root of 25 is 5. So I've got plus 5 root 3's. And then I want to take away 4 root 3's. Okay, so if we do a wee bit of collecting like terms, they're all root 3's, so I can collect them all. So one of them plus 5 of them is 6 root 3's, and I want to take away 4 of them, leaves me with 2 root 3. Okay, hopefully you've done okay with them. If not, go back and read the notes, look at the videos on all these things before. It is essential that you can do all of these topics on your own. Right, the lesson for today is about completing a square. Now, I've just listed down a set of brackets that are squares, so that's x plus 5 times x plus 5. And if you multiply that out, the answer to that would be x squared plus 10x plus 25. X plus 2 all squared, that's a square, and if I multiply all of that one out, it would give me x squared plus 4x plus 4. Next one, x minus 1 all squared, if I multiply that one out, I would get x squared minus 2x's plus 1. And the last one, x minus 10 all squared, would give me x squared minus 20x plus 100. Right, now there's a few things I want you to notice here. Okay, so I'm going to highlight them, but I'm going to give you a wee second to think about it. In the bracket with x plus 5, look what's there. What's the correction? Have you spotted it? So that 5 doubles up to 10, that 2 doubles up to 4, that minus 1 doubles up to minus 2, and that minus 10 doubles up to minus 20. Now also look at 5, and we've got 25, 2, we've got 4, 1, we've got minus 1, we've got plus 1, minus 10, we've got plus 100. What's the connection there? That's 5 squared, that's 2 squared, that's minus 1 squared, and that's minus 10 squared. Now what you're going to get is you're going to get something like this, and you've got to put it back into a bracket. Now it won't just be a straightforward x plus 5 all squared, you'd have maybe a plus 3 or a plus 2 or whatever in there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a wee set of rules on how you do this, and then we'll practice it. Right, so your question would look something like expressed in the form x plus p all squared plus q. Now they're numbers, and that just looks like a completed square. There's a square there that's complete, but you've maybe got another wee bit tagged on at the end. Okay, completing the square, express in the form x plus p all squared plus q by completing the square. Right, so that means that we've got to have a bracket with x plus a number all squared plus another number. Right, so what we did on the previous page was we looked at the x squareds going to double the amount of x's. So we're going backwards this time. So what we do is we take that number there and we halve the number in front of x and put it in the bracket. So if that's plus 6, we halve it and we get x plus 3 all squared. So that goes into that bracket. Now, second thing is pull the last number down. So that plus 1, just write it in there. And the third thing you've got to do is subtract square of the number in the bracket. So the number in the bracket is 3, so 3 squared is 9. I want to take away 9. So 3 wee steps that you've got to do. Then you tidy it up, so it's x plus 3 all squared, and minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8. Okay, right, next one. So next example, expressed in the form x plus p all squared plus q. So that's what it looks like. Now it could be a and b in there, it could be any letters at all. Right, so we've got x squared minus 12x plus 5. So we're going to halve the number in front of x. So the number in front of x is minus 12. So we're going to halve that and put it in the bracket. So that becomes x minus 6 all squared. Pull the last number down. So pull down that plus 5 and leave it at the end. and then subtract the square of the number in the bracket. So we've got 6 squared, 6 6s are 36, and we've got to subtract 36. Okay, nearly there. All I have to do is tidy that up. So x minus 6 all squared minus 36 plus 5 is minus 31. Okay, third one, express in the form x plus pl squared plus q by completing the square. So first thing is half the number in front of x and put it in the bracket. So we've got plus 8, when I half that I get plus 4. So it's x plus 4 all squared. Pull down the last number, so minus 3 gets pulled down to there. And the last thing, subtract the square of the number in the bracket. So that we've got 4 in the bracket there, so 4 squared is 16, and subtract it, so it's minus 16. Tidy it up, so that gives me x plus 4 all squared, minus 16 minus another 3 is minus 19, and that's your completed the square, and it looks like that. So p is 4, and q is minus 19. Okay, next one, we've got x squared minus 14x plus 8. So half the number in front of x and put it in the bracket. So half the minus 14, and it gives me x minus 7 all squared. Pull the last number down, so leave the plus 8 at the end, and subtract the last number squared. So 7 squared is 49, and we always subtract, so it's minus 49. Okay, last stage, tidy it up, is x minus 7 all squared minus 49 plus 8 is minus 41. Now, a wee extension one, because sometimes you get fractions involved in this. So we've got to half the number in front of x to put it in the bracket. Now it's a minus 3, so all you have to do is minus 3 over 2, that's half. Okay, so that's me half that one. Now, if that was a number where you could simplify that fraction, you must simplify the fraction, but that's all you need to do. Pull the number down at the end is plus 4, and then take away this number squared. So 3 over 2 squared, you square the top, so 3 3s are 9, 2 2s are 4, so it's 9 over 4, so I'm taking away 9 over 4. Okay, we've still got to simplify it, so we've got x minus 3 over 2 all squared, and I've got minus 9 over 4 plus 4. So we'll do this down at the bottom of the page. I want to change into quarters. So that minus 9 over 4 stays as it is. And 4, if I change that into quarters, if I've multiplied the bottom by 4, I do the same to the top. So 16 divided by 4 is the same as that. Right, so now I've got 16 quarters and I want to take away 9 quarters. How many quarters have I got? I've got plus 7 quarters. Right, now that one there is an extension one. It's harder because you're dealing with fractions, but follow that one and it should be okay. Right, so all of this is a tool that you're going to use in maths. It's a bit like factorising. It's a tool that you use to solve problems later on. Right, so you will use this in a topic called quadratics, and it will be used to find a thing called the turning point of a parabola. You don't know what that is yet, but this tool is very important that you know how to do it. So it's a wee process you're learning. So that's the answer to that one. Okay, now I want you to try that exercise, and I've given you 10 of them. And these ones here are going to be fractional ones. Okay, right, so work your way through them. Tomorrow's lesson, so Tuesday's lesson, I will do all of them, and then we'll continue on with something else.